So, the Boruto anime is now beginning the process of putting these characters into three-man squads, which is very interesting because we already know how they're going to end up. We know the groups, we just don't know the process of them getting there. So we have the Ino-Chika-Cho formation with Shikadai, Inojin, and Chocho, which makes sense from a historical standpoint, but I guess I was under the impression that the show was trying to push Boruto and Shikadai being best friends. So even though the Inochika show formation makes sense from a historical standpoint and from a teamwork related standpoint, doesn't really make a lot of sense from a social standpoint because, I mean, ask any kid, who do you want to be in a team with? They're probably going to say, my best friend. And I thought the show was kind of implying that Shikadai and Boruto were best friends. Up until, I guess, Mitsuki came in and ruined that, I guess. By the way, Mitsuki, I'm getting some vibes from Mitsuki. He's like, I'm going to be in a team with you, Boruto, no questions asked. It's getting a little bit too obsessive to the point that you question whether it's romantic or not. Anyway, we find out that Denki and Iwabe are teamed up together and they actually asked Sarada to be with them. So that right there, that's a red flag because that means that either Denki or Iwabe are going to fail. They won't be able to graduate from the academy because we know Sarada ends up in Team 7 with Boruto and Mitsuki. So either the two of them flunk and have to stay behind, leaving Sarada to move up and join Boruto and Mitsuki, or Iwabe and Denki suffer horrible deaths. There's some pretty cool character moments that I did not expect. Sumida comes back and rejoins the group. She makes the choice of reintegrating herself into the group because she realizes that, you know, she has this ability to choose now. What is her life going to be? It's her decision now. And also a pretty good character moment for Shino as a tutor trying to take care of her. And not just her, but like, you know, this authority figure as a teacher sort of like showcasing this responsibility that he has for these kids. And so I like that because in a way it showcases that even though Shino didn't have kids of his own, he's still fulfilling this fatherly role for his students in some aspects of their life. And then we also have this very weird, awkward sort of conflict building scene in the Naruto household between Boruto and Naruto, which again will culminate in Boruto the movie. And there's a small scene, I think, just very small, minor thing, but I like how Hinata calls over Himawari because she's like, okay, it's Boruto and Naruto need to have time together. So Himawari, please come help me with the dishes. And I like it because it just shows how intuitive she is as a mom.
So in my opinion, the thing that really makes this episode stand out are its final minutes, because not only does it sort of expand on the Otsuki lineage, possibly setting up new character introductions for the future of the Boruto series, but at the same time it also begins the process of tying things in to both Naruto Gaiden and also Boruto the movie. We have a Naruto clone going to meet Sasuke, and he hands over the scroll of the seal of the Nue. And Sasuke looks over it and he says, wow, I can't believe Danzo was actually getting this close to Kaguya's hidden jutsu. And Naruto says that he really didn't understand why the two would be connected in the first place. Like, what's the connection between Kaguya and the Nue, the Gosu Tenno? That's the technique that's used to summon the Nue. So essentially, if you look at it, like the common denominator, the thing that they both have in common is that they work by absorbing chakra. I mean, the infinite Tsukuyomi just wraps you into a cocoon and slowly milks you out of your chakra. The Nue feeds off of your negative emotions, but it's still sort of absorbing people's chakra for it to get more powerful. So it's the same concept, and that's why Sasuke says it's very similar to what Kaguya was trying to do, just absorb chakra. It's just that the Nue would be like a crappier version of Kaguya's jutsu because it was developed by Danzo. Anyway, Sasuke says that this new information is probably going to get him closer to being able to go into the time-space dimensions that Kaguya inhabited, right? Where she existed. So again, that sets up the opening scene of Boruto the movie because Sasuke in that opening scene is in Kaguya's ice dimension fighting Kinshiki. Now Sasuke leaves, but before he does so, he tells Naruto to tell Sakura, I'm sorry for everything. And Naruto responds by saying, no, I'm the one who should be sorry. And I guess it's because he feels guilty for entrusting this mission on Sasuke. Now the mission, in case you don't remember, that Sasuke is on right now is to find out what was up with Kaguya's idea. Because if you remember Naruto Shippuden, Kaguya said that she was creating a clone army, an army of Zetsus, to defend against a threat. Now in Naruto Shippuden, we never find out what that threat is. We only find that out in Boruto the movie. And since, in case you haven't seen it, the threat that she was trying to protect against was these two, Kinshiki and Momoshiki, okay? And they're actually in this episode, and makes perfect sense. They're hyped up a little bit by Toneri Otsuki. He actually refers to them as the gods. And if you remember in the Boruto manga, once Momoshiki is defeated, he gives Boruto a prophecy saying that one day those blue eyes will take everything from him. So I don't know if he knows that Toneri actually gave him this new eye jutsu, this Kekkei Genkai or whatever. But Momoshiki also tells him, now that you've defeated a god, Boruto, you can no longer be an ordinary person. And he gives him the curse mark. We see here that Kinshiki has like this Kamui sort of interdimensional travel technique that he uses there. And he shows up and he says, yo, I found Kaguya tears in a dimension. All right, space curvature is, I believe 16, and anything over 10 is reportable. So we need to report this to the clan. And that's a problem, because that's something that we did not know up until this point. This is a new line, new information. There is still a clan, even without Kinshiki and Momoshiki and Kaguya. So there are still members of the Otsuki clan out there, okay? And this line, I think, could be taken as solid foreshadowing for events to come. Now, Toneri, in his scene, says, well, it looks like Jogen's turn won't be coming up for a while. Now, there's two interpretations of this statement. The first one is he may be talking about Boruto's eye. That's what it's called, Jogen, the Jogen. So he says, like, yeah, it's gone dormant. You know, the portal has closed because of the Nue, and so it's going to take a while for it to open again. He says it's only temporary, okay? So that could be one interpretation, that he's talking about Boruto's eye. And the other interpretation that we can give this statement is that he's actually talking about another member, a more powerful one of the Otsuki clan, okay? Jogen Otsuki, perhaps. So please let me know what you think about both interpretations, and which one are you leaning towards it being.
Let me know if you think Shoujoji, or should I say Shoujojo? I think they changed the name. At first I thought it was Shoujoji, now it's Shoujojo. What's going on? They can't even get the name straight. The villain that we saw in the last chapter of manga for Boruto, that guy, do you think he has anything to do, any type of connection to this Otsuki-related conspiracy? As of right now, I personally don't think so, but I guess it's going to depend on what happens to him in next month's chapter of Boruto. But as of right now, I can say with utmost honesty that I thought that guy was just total 100% antagonistic garbage, because they hyped him up like they were saying, like, this guy that has this ability to absorb the jutsu and the appearance of the people who are dead and stuff. So the idea, I thought, was really good. The concept was good, but the execution was just so underwhelming based off of what we saw in that fight. I mean, he got taken out by a shuriken, not even by Boruto, by Tento, this kid. It's just like, I'm gonna throw a shuriken, oh, there you go. It was like, wow, so underwhelming. I hope there's a bigger payoff than what we got in the last chapter. I really do. Naruto Gaiden, aka the story of Sarada finding out more about Sasuke and actually finding more about where she came from and her family dynamics, actually premieres on August 9th. We got this cool poster, key visual. So on August 9th, story-wise, Boruto's gonna have to take a backseat because now it's Sarada's time to shine and give her arc, which we read in the manga. It's just the animated version of that. But it also includes Sakura, Naruto, and Sasuke, which is in my opinion, refreshing. And as such, we get new content for the anime ending, which in my opinion makes it the best ending we've gotten out of this Boruto anime thus far. Granted, we haven't gotten too many, but I liked the way that it starts out. It's very symbolic. The two DNA strands, one representing Sakura, the other one representing Sasuke, get together, and then you see the cell beginning to divide itself up, ultimately resulting in a brand new member of the Uchiha clan, Sarada Uchiha. As you can see from her facial expressions throughout this ending, Sarada is completely, just totally conflicted, okay? And which is why my favorite scene of the ending is when Naruto just walks past her and just puts a hand on her head and just gives her the classic Naruto thumbs up. Be hopeful, which, by the way, Boruto did the exact same thing in the beginning of the episode. He actually did that when he saw Sumire. But anyway, Sarada awakens the Sharingan. Spoiler alert, not really. And we see Shin Uchiha there with his clones, along with the Jubi Pokemon, the Jubimon. That's it for me, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Overall, I thought this episode was pretty good. Let me know what you thought about it down below. Also, what were your thoughts on the manga chapter? I'm gonna eat you, Boruto. Let me know. Like the video if you did. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't. Catch you guys later. Thank you.